Okay, let's take a look and see what we're going to do for this lab. Go to our Google site, and you're going to go to week 2 person. And inside week 2 person, what you're going to find here is you're going to find a link to the PowerPoint that discussed in the previous videos and the lab assignment. But the first thing I want you to do before you start diving into the lab assignment is get your files. There's a person file, there's a person driver file, there's a student file. All of these are in text files. So what you're going to do is see them pop up on the screen. Here's your person file. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and copy this entire file. So Control A highlights everything. Control C copies. You're going to paste that into JGrasp. You're going to do file save as. You are going to save it as this one is going to be person.java, because if we look up top, you see it is person. Then you're going to repeat that process for the person driver. So here's person driver. Copy all of that. Paste it into a separate JGrasp file. File save as. It'll save it as persondriver.java. And then finally, the last one you're going to do is you're going to do it for student. Again, copy the whole thing in a separate tab inside JGrasp. So this will be the third tab, file save as, and it'll give you student. Notice student extends person. I'll talk about that a little bit later. So what we have is we have your files. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the instructions. So here's what the instructions read. You are going to open up person driver, and what you're going to do is you're going to comment out all of the code in person driver. So again, when you look at person driver, all that code that's in there, I want you to comment it out. So double slash in front of it. Now you're going to write brand new code in person driver. The first line of code you're going to be is you're going to create a new person object. So person Tony Bennett equals new person. Tony Bennett will be the name, 63 will be the age, and 192 will be the weight. Now remember, if you're naming the object, you can't call it Tony space Bennett because objects can't have spaces in them. You could do Tony Bennett with no space. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to create an array of 5 people, a 5-person array. So it will say person, bracket. So again, I'll type it up here so you can kind of see what I mean. You will see person, open close, team equals new person. And we are going to have 5 of them. And remember, that literally just creates the space for the 5 persons. It has not created them yet. What you're going to do is you're going to use a for loop, and that for loop is going to be used to make calls to create individual person in this array using the read info method. So you will use person bracket, so it'll look kind of like this. It'll say, in your for loop, you'll see team 1 equals, and what it'll be is something along those lines. But you're not going to use ones, you'll use the counter I. You're going to do that for 5 people. What you're then going to do is you're going to randomly generate a number using this line of code here. And what that will do is that'll pick the person in your array that is going to die. So what you will do is once you've generated that random number between 0 and 4, you'll call the die method on that person. And then what you want to do is system.out.println, and you want to print out every member of your team and their status. So you'll have 5 names printed out, 4 alive and 1 dead. The next thing that you're going to need to do is you are going to go have to create one new person. This has nothing to do with your array, a person called X. And what you want to do is you want to do x.born. So what that'll do is that'll have a person born, the name to be determined, the age 0, the weight a random number between 6 and 14.9999. And then what you'll do is you will use a setInfo method that you're going to write, and that method will mirror readInfo. So take readInfo, copy it down, rename it setInfo, and then what you want to do is you want to make it a 3-argument method. So with that, a 1-argument method. The 1-argument method will just be the name. So you'll send the name in that will allow you to rename the person. Now, the last thing you want to do is you want to look at student Java and see if you can understand what student Java does. And the last step should be just try to create one student and print that student out on the page.